Today I'm going to show you how to make your own custom move graphics for Galaxy, much like the one you're seeing right now. The software we're going to need for this video is Carameru, Cookie, and Affinity Photo or Designer. You can choose between either Affinity Photo or Designer. My preference is Designer. So let's start by making our own folder and calling it Custom Moves. From there, we're going to open up Citra and dump our ROMFS folder. Once dumped, all we're going to need is the IE6 underscore A and B and drag them into the custom moves folder. Once that's done, we can just get rid of them. We don't need them and close that. Okay, inside our custom moves folder, we're going to create another folder and we're going to call it moves. Then from there, we're going to open IE6 underscore B. Once this is opened, we're going to go to data inside image. And let's extract the skill underscore name folder, extract, and we'll choose custom moves folder, and then inside extract it to the new moves folder we just made. And we'll see that's extracted successfully. Now inside our moves folder, we can see we've got a folder named skill underscore name. Head inside here and we can see a lot of .xi files or underscore jar. I think they're xi files. They should be. Yeah, xi files. So what we're going to do is we're going to just click, you can click any one of these, doesn't matter what it's one. In our case, we've got the caching level here. And what we're going to do is go to this icon here. That's the batch export PNG button. What this does is it extracts every single .xi file in a selected directory, in this case our folder here, skill underscore name, and it extracts every single xi file to PNG. Saves us doing any of the work. As you can see on the right here, that it has exported every single one here. I can go on for days because of how many files there are. That there's just so much moves in this game. And they're all extracted. There's even the levels, block shot, totems, all that good stuff, all in here. So what we're going to focus on today is we're going to make the graphic for Fire Tornado, mainly because it's just this bog standard move, and I'm pretty certain it's the first. No, is it the first one? I don't know if it's the. Oh, I don't even know where we are. Yeah, it's the first move, so might as well do it. Do the first move. So let's open up Affinity Photo or Designer of your choice. Again, mine is Designer. It doesn't matter what one you use as long as you're using one of them. So inside our Affinity Designer now, I've already made a shoots file and I've listed off a lot of things that I've been making because I'm making my own mod pack, you see. So I've got all these listed. We're actually not. I'm not going to focus on that too much, but yeah, I've already pre-made a graphic. As you can see, it's just a bog standard Fire Tornado. I managed to extract the Strikers font or a font used in Strikers to make this. It's hold on, I'll show you. It's this little folder here, and it's just got all of the letters that we'll need. This will be in the description below. I will zip this up and this will be available for you all to use it on. Currently, I'm trying to make it into a font, but that's later. Me problem. Can't quite get it up. Can't quite get it working just now. So we'll just need to make do with these individual letters. So once we're in here, what you would do is you would go into your letters folder and just drag and drop the letters in, and then from there you would make your term. So we could probably make Eternal Blizzard or something. I'll just do the first word of Eternal now, just as an example of what to do. So we need a T, we need an N, we need an A, we need an L. Now, because we've already got an E in here, we don't need another E, so I'll show you a little trick with that. It would help if I could spell right. We need an R as well, just a little cheeky R. Right, so we want to line everything up. So the red line, if you see the red line at the top and bottom, you know it's correctly aligned. So we want that. And then the next letter is an E. So what we're going to do is click on E here, hold down Alt, hold on Alt, Shift, and click and drag. This duplicates the letter and keeps everything nice and neat, and it keeps it on the same path as well. So we'll do R. Wait, where's R? And then do the same. And get A and get L. I have no idea where this T came from. I don't know why I decided that. So to keep the style of what I've got here, what we're going to do is just quickly we're just going to make sure everything's nice and cuddled up with each other. So we're going to try and get them quite close so that nothing's too bunched up or too far away. And then we want the E to be capitalized, so we're going to click on the N, hold shift, click E, R, N, A, L, and hold control and shift and drag down a little bit. Then we can bunch them back up together here. That way it's now capitalized and we keep our nice row here. I would like to apologize for this awful spelling of mine. I have no idea what came over me when making the tutorial. I can only apologize from there. So that's how I did this, and I just did that for all of them. Now you get the little jags sticking out. All it's a case of is we want this E to be behind a lot. A little word of note for this: if you want say if we want the E, right? If you want your letter E to be behind a letter, it needs to be underneath. In our case, the N here is above the E. So that's going to be, the N is going to be in front and the E is going to be behind. If we change it up, the E is going to be in front and the N is going to be behind. So it's up to you what kind of choice you would want. In my case, I'm wanting the E to be behind and the N to be in front. Now, as you can see, the R, because the R is the top layer here, it's going to be at the top. I want the R to be in the bottom of the E. So now it will be here. Same with the N. The N is now going to be on top. We want it to be in the bottom. So there you go. Again with the A, we want the A just to be slightly beneath it there. And then last but not least, the L. Do the L and drag it down. Now, for all of them here, we will just drag there. We'll make the E in front. So we've kind of got that same little vibe we've made there, the little style we've got there, and it's been made for that. So that's how you would make the text graphic as of now. Just place the letters in and then readjust them accordingly. So now that we've finished with our making of this, what I'm going to do is I've already grouped them. You would like to, how you would group them is you would highlight all of them, make sure they're all highlighted, press Ctrl G, groups them all in a nice group. You can move them about freely. That's how you group them. So I've made a group for each word, file, tornado. So I'm going to click the main group that holds both of the subgroups, right click and click raster size. It turns this into a pixel layer. And from there, what I'm going to do is with the skill_name folder, I'm going to click on this image here, the WHS1, right click, open with Affinity Designer. This brings me to, this opens up the PNG. What's really important to note when you're making graphics is that this side here, this little frame is, or this edge, sorry, is really important you must make sure that your move graphic. Oh, first and foremost, we'll just copy and paste it over so you know what I'm talking about. So it's a bit big, obviously, as you can probably tell. It's humongous. So all we need to do is just do that. Now, what you need to make sure, and this is very important, you must make sure that your end letter here, the little border part here, is touching the end of the layer. Now, I'm not too sure that's touching. It's not. So I'm going to turn off my snapping and do it freehand. Okay, now it's touching. And it's touching there. Why this is so important is that when we are leveling up our moves, if there's any space in between, so say if there's a great, like, say if I wanted, I'm going to copy and paste because I don't want to. Say if we wanted our name to be like this, then what would happen is this massive gap here would affect the level of which your move is, no matter the side. So if it was if it's a Sigma move here, because I think the Sigma goes on this side, it would then be right over here, for example. And and we can't see that. And the same here, it would be over this side. It'd be a huge box, a huge gap in between. So we must make sure, I can't stress it enough, make sure that your graphic is touching both sides. They're really important. So once we're done with that, we're going to export, make sure your size is the same. And I'm going to get rid of this god awful attempt I made at the start. Just replace it. In fact, no, I don't need, well, I'm actually going to replace that because that was god awful. So what we're going to do is head to our custom moves. That's what it's called. Head to our custom moves and say skill name, and because it's already named that, we can just click the save button and it will save over that. Now we can come out of Affinity Photo, and inside our skill.name we can see that File Tornado is now there. So let's open the XI file, the 01. There's File Tornado, still in its normal defaultness. Click and drag, it's now been changed, and then we can save. Click save. One thing to note is that the compression tool that the 3DS uses will compress the outline a lot, so you need to make sure if you want like a bulky outline, you need to make it more bulk air, if that's a word. You need to make sure your outline is big to combat the compression, is what I'm saying. So if this stroke here was 2 pixels, you would need to make it 5 pixels for it to be a bigger and more reasonable outline than this. But now that's saved, we can come out and we can open up or go back into our IE6_B, and let's look for WHS, and here it is, WHS number 1 here. So let's just make sure it's the right file tornado, yes. So we're just going to replace it, right click replace, and inside moves, skill name, and we'll find WHS 1. There it is. So we'll replace that. Has been replaced. Let's go and save that. Control S to save. And let's see how this looks in game. Okay, so I'm just going to go into a battle here real quick, and let's have a look to see if our little mod worked. I think this is a bit loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. So there we can see our little man Go NG here. I'm just going to slide tackle this poor child. Okay, so I do have a level on this File Tornado, so you'll see that my if my warning was correct. As you can see, it looks pretty good, and it's not too far away from the level either. It looks proper, and I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that. And that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Consider subscribing. There's more tutorials to come. This is part 1 of 2 in this kind of tutorial, where next time we're going to be looking at how to get the small text, the little text at the special moves here. How we're going to learn how to change them. But yeah, with that said, I'm off.